Today guys, welcome back to the channel. So it has been a minute since we've made a video and a lot of stuff has happened, but I haven't been able to video it due to my video quality just wasn't up to snuff. I didn't want to post a video, so we're gonna try to make a decent video, guys, for y'all. We got a 2001 Dodge 3500 Cummins heater core. This here is a Spectra Premium. It is a Amazon's best choice, and we're going to be putting it in this truck here. So now, first thing you're going to want to do, which we don't have to worry about because this one's already looped. Someone's already looped the heater core hose, which is right here. I can see it looped. You're going to want to take the heater core, well, here we go. You're going to want to take your heater core lines loose. Not from, you don't have to take them loose from the cab, but you'll want to take them loose from where your pipe, which I'm not sure if this is a factory pipe, but you'll want to take them loose from your pipe, and you'll want to take them loose from the block there, where it comes out. I have another truck over here. We'll look and make sure it's the same. I'm not sure if it is the same, but it may be close. So, go in here and get the keys. We'll unlock it, and we'll see about that. Alright. We'll pop the hood on this one. This is a 99, so it's going to be basically the same. That truck has an aftermarket turbo, so I don't know if that's why it has a different pipe on it or not, but maybe it's the same. We're about to find out. Alright. My pipe actually, so it is the same. It's just his got rerouted because of the turbo, but mine, it just runs underneath the manifold. And then, but anyhow, yes, you'll take this clamp right here loose and this clamp right here loose. So that's all we have to do there. But yes, basically from 98.5, which is 24 valve, all the way to 2002 should be the same setup. Now this pipe is, I guess, it looks aftermarket to me, so sorry about the light. But anyhow, guys, yep, we'll take those. You'll want to take those loose first, and then after that, you'll go inside the truck and start pulling the dash. So we'll start, guys. So first off, inside the truck, we're going to start out with removing our shifter assembly, because you're going to want it out of the way when you pull your dash out. So you're going to want to pull this out, this little cover. I just took a screwdriver, put under it. I showed y'all. Alright. So you got an 8mm here to take out, and we got another 8mm right here. We'll take that. We'll have to get our Phillips out of there. There's one Phillips there, a Phillips there, and then there's two more Phillips on the other side. Same spot, but the driver's side. We'll get them pulled out, and then we'll go on to the next. We got the shifter boot loose. There's actually 6. You can see here. Oh well, maybe if I get it out of the way. You can see here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th one is right back here. Trying to make it where y'all can see. I'm not blocking the light, but there's the 6th one. Okay, so y'all got 6 of those, and then there's supposed to be 2 of those 8s down there on that bracket, but one of them's missing, so we'll take the one out, and that's going to get your plastic cover out of the way. Your shifter, this is a well, let's see, it's a 19, so this is a 19 here. They're going to be pretty tight. I've already broke this one loose, but usually they're pretty tight, but once you break it loose, you can just spin the shifter off. So there you go. You can see your threads. So we got our shifter off, set it out of the way. And then there's an 8. We get the 8 back out. And then drop it. So here, you'll spin your shifter off, or your knob. Spin your knob, which most likely you'll have to pop the cap off because there's a nut in there. Anyhow, this one just spun off, so we'll set it there. To put it back on, we'll probably have to take the cap off of it and do it right. But anyhow, then your shifter boot, your 4-wheel drive shifter boot, if you have a 4-wheel drive, it should slide off as an assembly. It just has 2 little clips on each, on this side, one in the front and one in the back, and then 2 on this side. So you'll just kind of just pull up on it and it should pop loose. Now, we got another 8mm down here, right there, by that, in that corner, right here where my finger is, and then you got 2 10s on the actual shifter holding the 4-wheel drive shifter, and then you have another 8 right here. So we'll get them pulled off, and that should, then our assembly should come off, our cup holder assembly. Guys, got our 2 10s out, so our 4-wheel drive shifter link, or whatever you want to call it, it comes right out, so we'll set it off to the side. Alright guys, I got the shifter put into 2nd gear, so we're going to pull our bottom side up, and you'll just pull it straight up like that, and there you go, you have the you got your piece out of the way. So now the only thing you'll have left is these 2 bolts here attached to the dash, so you'll take those 2 out, and make it a little easier, you can take the 2 10s out here also. So all 4 of these are 10mm, and then once you take all them out, that bracket will come out, and then it'll be out of your way. You'll want to disconnect your airbag module here, because that wire, I think, stays with the dash. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll let y'all know when it comes to that point. But you'll want to disconnect it, so it'd probably be best if we disconnect our negative battery cables on the vehicle. So we're going to take both our negative cables loose. There we go, there's one. Then we'll come over here with my light. Get the second one right here. Get it out of the way. So now, now we can get that airbag connector loose without having any issues. So there's this red tab. You push over, just like that, and then you'll push your yellow tab. Then you'll push your yellow tab down right here in the middle, and pull out, just like that. And there's your connectors disconnected. Alright, now that we got all that out of the way, we have quite a few things we're going to have to undo under here. So, this truck has column gauges. So we'll have to disconnect the column gauges from the bottom. Preferably not from the top, because that's just a lot more work. So, I'll have to pull the gauge assembly up so I can get this dash cover out of the way. And then we'll have to figure out where the wires go and how we can get them out of the way so the dash can come out of the way without pulling any wires out or messing anything up. So a lot of the wires are spliced into our fuse center here, so we'll have to work around that. We'll have to figure out like which fuse they're spliced into, and we'll have to unplug it. This ground will have to come loose so our wires can stay there. Guys, our knee bolster right here, we'll want to take it off. It has a couple Phillips in it, but this truck has a aftermarket brake controller on it, so we'll have to get it out of the way first. But it should have 3 Phillips, a Phillips here, a Phillips right under this brake booster right here, and then a Phillips right on the other side. I'm trying to see that. But anyhow, we'll have to get those 3 out. But once we get this off, we can get this off out of the way. Actually, we might be able to just turn it and pull out that screw real quick. Third one. Alright, so our wiring. It goes right here, it's all zip tied up. Zip ties around. Then it just plugs in right here to this blue connector under here. I don't know if y'all can see that. This blue connector right here. There's blue with a white connector inside of it. We'll disconnect it. There's that connector. All these connectors actually have to come loose. There's a 10 right here. You'll take this 10 loose, it'll split this big connector. Then you have this small connector here and this one down here. So you'll want to take all your connectors loose. And on this one we'll have to cut these zip ties off for the brake controller, because our brake controller will leave it attached. We'll leave it attached to our knee bolster, and we'll get these connectors disconnected. Guys, I got the first connector out, which is this connector here. So there's this white tab on it. You'll push the tab in, push it down with your thumb, and it'll move it just enough, and then you'll pull on it, pull it out of that blue connector. So that gets that out of the way. And then this connector back here, you'll push this white tab down here where my finger is pushing. You'll push down and you use your hand to push away this one. And there's that connector. And then this connector here, we just got a 10 millimeter in the middle of it. Just zip it out and it comes apart just like that, and there's your big connector. And so this connector is the big connector that keeps the dash away. And then you have also behind here we got 2 little connectors, so you just push the tab in, pull. Same with the second one, push the tab in, pull. Well, maybe. There it goes. Alright. And then there's another connector in here, but when I get this knee bolster off, maybe we'll have a little more room to see some stuff. So on our knee bolster, once you've got the 3 screws out, back to that, you'll just pull it down. So we got our harness over here out of the way. We'll take this and we'll set it out of the way. Now that we're here, we got you got to disconnect all your wiring from your steering wheel. So we'll have to have a Torx bit, and you'll have to have a long Torx bit to go in the steering wheel here, and a long Torx to go in this side over here in this other hole. See if y'all can see those holes. Okay, there we go. There's one right here. There's another hole over there, and that Torx there. So they're all the same size. I think they're a T15 or a T20. Not 100% sure, but I will let you know here in a minute. You'll have to have a long one because that actual screw is like way up here. So you'll have to have one of those T-handled Torx that are several inches long, so you can get in there and unscrew it. And then you'll be taking your 2 10s out. You'll be taking your steering column loose, and you'll take all your connectors loose off your steering column, because your steering column will actually come out of the truck, so you have room to pull the dash out, because you can't pull it out. We'll have to take all these are 7s, or you can use a Phillips. You'll have to pop all these clips for the wiring off, those 2 clips there, and then there's 2 screws coming through. That's for your hood latch. You'll have to take it loose. They're Phillips, 2 Phillips, and then your hood latch should drop down. And then once you get this bar out, then you can either drop the steering wheel down and have it out of the way and leave it. You drop it down and leave it connected over there. Leave it connected through the firewall, and you just have it drop down, and then you can lift the dash over. Alright, we got that off. Now, I think this will stay with the steering wheel, this connector here. So, there's 2 tabs on each side. They'll pry both sides back, and then pull it apart. That'll stay with the steering wheel, and then disconnect it there. Pull that off. Your brake pedal sensor here, you'll want to disconnect it. It's just this red clip here. You can take a screwdriver and put behind the clip, the red part of the clip, and pull it back. And then there's a black tab on the connector here. You just pull it out, and there's that connector. And so our brake pedal sensor's disconnected, because this harness will stay with the dash when you pull the dash. Pull this up. Dash cover, pull it up. Just like that, and it's out. Column gauges, I'll just leave up out of the way for right now. I did a couple things here. We disconnected our park brake release. It's just the the rod right here. Here's the rod. The white clip, so the rod will be sitting in the white clip. You just pry the white clip up to get the bar disconnect, or the rod disconnected out of the white clip. And then after I did that, I did realize that we have to take the ISPRO gauges out, or the column gauges or whatever. So I took them out, got them out of the way. There was this column gauge setup does have the tweeter in it. So your tweeter, which will be normal on your truck, once you take your gauge out, which it should have, I don't know, I think it pops in, may have a screw. Your tweeter has this little connector here. Just another little white push tab. You just push down and pull it out. So that gets your column gate or your pillar out, because you'll have to take that pillar over there out also, because you'll have to have the pillars out of the way for room to pull the dash. You have screws. They are 8mm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 across the whole dash top. And then there's your big, I want to say it's a 13 right here. You got a big 13 here and a big 13 on the other side. And then we did disconnect. So for the back to the pillars or the pillar gauges, we did disconnect all the connectors from the gauge, because we'll have to fish them through the dash when we take it out and put it back in. I disconnected the positive, which just goes into a fuse there, and then the ground, which was screwed into the metal part of the dash, which all gauges are wired up differently, so it just depends on how they wired them, whether yours is like that or not. But anyhow, we took our actual hookups loose, because they'll have to come out with the wiring. And then that should be it for right now. We have to get that pillar off over there, and there's another connector in there I have not got to yet, but I will get to that, because it's kind of one of those deals. It's like, if you don't know about it, you'll try to pull your dash out and you'll be hanging. So we'll get it out here in a second. You don't have to mess with any of your pedal stuff, your clutch pedal or brake pedal attachments, because your brakes and clutch and everything will stay in here. We got this part right here, which is a support. We already pulled it out. We showed y'all that. There'll be 2 13s on each side. They're either 13s or 15s. I want to say they're 13s though. And then you got 8s all the way across the top. That's pretty much what holds your dash in. It's just all the wiring you got to disconnect to pull the dash out. Now, vacuum lines. You'll disconnect this white vacuum connector here. If y'all can see that, maybe. That white vacuum connector right there. You'll want to disconnect it, because that's what separates your dash from your HVAC box. So there's a tab on top right here. You'll just pry it out and then pull them apart. Alright guys, see here's our vacuum connector. I pulled that tab up. There's our little lock on this side. It's just a little square deal sticking up, and there you go. There you got the vacuum disconnected. We're gonna make a second video to this, because this video is kind of getting long. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and the next video will be up in the next day or two, just depending on how long it takes to edit it. But anyhow guys, I hope y'all liked the first part of this video. The second part will be coming soon for sure. We ain't gonna leave y'all out on it, but the second part's gonna be mainly I think one more connector. We'll pull that column, and then we got the bolts pretty much pulling the dash. It's gonna be pretty much the heater core part of it and putting it back together. So anyhow guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope y'all liked it, and I'll for sure have that other video up next. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and we'll see y'all.